Well, the trial of televangelist Timothy Omotoso and his co-accused Lusanda, Sulani and Zukiswa, Sitho is back in the Port Elizabeth High Court. Omotoso has been in custody since his arrest at the Port Elizabeth Airport in April 2017, while Sulani and Sitho are out on bail. The trio face 97 charges, including human trafficking, rape and racketeering. The case has been on a stop-start affair for more than 2 years. It will now have to start afresh as the previous judge had to recuse himself. Let's get the very latest now and bring in Veronica Fourie, who's covering this story for us. Veronica, a very good morning to you. So we're talking about this stop-start affair of this case, and the previous judge had to recuse himself. Just give us some context, some background with regards to this case.
Good morning, Blaine. Yes, it has really been a stop-start affair. As you said, the case started with a judge, and then it came to light that he had shares in a guest house where some of the state witnesses actually were housed, and he actually then had to recuse himself from the matter. Then there were several delays, and then eventually a new judge had to be appointed, and that is Judge Irma Skuman. And then also there was another delay when the state prosecutor was withdrawn from the case. He had to attend to other matters in East London, and now we have another prosecutor as well. Now that complicates matters because the new judge now has to start the matter afresh. It is a very complicated matter. There were lots of issues about the jurisdiction of this court because some of the cases happened all over the country, as Omotoso's church, the Jesus Dominion International Church, has several branches all over the country, and so these girls were lured from all over the country, but eventually he was arrested in Port Elizabeth at the airport, and it was then decided that the case will be in Port Elizabeth in the High Court here.
Right, so what can we expect today? Are there any issues that's likely to crop up before this trial actually gets underway today?
Yes, when the case started just before lockdown, another first witness was called, but that was cut short because of the lockdown. So it was postponed until today, and we expect that it will be postponed again today, as the judge has several other cases that she has to attend to. Many of the accused in other cases as well have to appear in court, and it has to be postponed. So we assume that this will also be postponed until a further date.
So talk to us about, you know, we normally see, or the last time this was broadcast live on television in terms of the trial. Will media have access to footage from inside court this time round?
Yes, we do have access to court. Last time we also saw a lot of activity outside court with supporters of Omotoso outside court. They were dancing and singing, and they would have liked to have him freed. So there's no such activity today, but the media is allowed in court. Of course, we have to apply to all the regulations with masks and social distancing and sanitizing. It is, there are very strict regulations in place.
So you say no such activity today. Does that tell us anything about the current case? Did the people, his supporters, Omotoso's supporters, catch wind that this might be postponed? That's why they're not there? Or is there any other issues in terms of why certain supporters are not present today outside court?
I think there are two reasons. I think that the word was out that it might be a postponement again. Yeah. And secondly, I would assume that the lockdown also has something to do with it, that they do not come out in numbers as they usually would have. They would be here with the instruments, making music and dancing and singing, and they were wearing church clothes. So there's nothing of that today.
All right, Veronica Fourie, thank you very much indeed for your report. We'll come back to you maybe a little later on to get the very latest of what actually transpires in court today. Veronica Fourie live for us there in the Eastern Cape.